Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming Terrain. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is the Monday painting video. What happens with the Monday painting video? Well, from last week's Weekly Wednesday, you guys, my viewers, will vote on a model or models that you want me to paint for this Monday. And then I paint it up for the Monday painting video. For all my regulars here, guys, I feel love, thank you very much. I'll see you in a second. Right, so it was actually between the Blood Crushers and the Skotari Rangers, but the last minute someone came in and voted for the Blood Crushers. So sorry to everyone that was hoping for the Rangers. Don't worry, there will be, everything has to be painted. Now, all I've done with these guys, I've used the technical Astro Granite on the base, the same as the Bloodfester. I then dry brushed it with some Baneblade Brown, yeah, and then some Troll Slayer Orange, just to break that grey up, because the grey's very dark when it dries. As soon as there's some Baneblade Brown, it lightens it up. Focus. Focus. The camera keeps doing that for some reason. It keeps focusing out and trying to focus on nothing. So on the wet palette, at the moment I only have two colours. That's Lead Belcher, not the airbrush paint, just a normal paint, because I can water it down if I need to, and Khorne Red. You want to be Khorne Blood Crushers without Khorne Red. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually paint Khorne Red onto the blood letters themselves. And if everyone is new, don't panic. You're not going to see me paint every single millimetre on, you know, all three of them. I'll start off by one of them. You'll see we do bits pieces, and then you'll see all three of them has a coat on it. Now I've watered this down a little tiny bit on the wet palette, just so I can get into the nooks and grooves and leave all those scales on his back. Let's come down to where his little tutus are, because he has big mad claws. Now you could get away with just leaving him undercoated and then pick out his claws and his horns and, you know, the little flame thing on his back, and then go into red on the Juggernaut. You could do that, very simple, very easy, and it'll look great. Or I could do the same with the Juggernaut, just do the gold trim and just leave the armour plates black. Yeah, but I'm not going to do that. That's too easy for me. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go, right, so I'm going to crack on with the rest of them, rest of him and the other two, and I'll come back to you then. Right, so they've had a base of red on. You can see this one over here is still shiny and wet. But look what I've done to the sword. So what I've done is I've gone up the middle as much as I can with the Khorne Red on both sides. I want to attempt to do a flaming sword or a flaming blade for the champion. Now, I won't be repeating that across every single blood letter or every single Blood Crushers. Champion probably get it, but that'd be it. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to Lead Belcher, and I'm going to carefully come in and pick out all of the bits on the Juggernaut. So it's going to have the crazy colour scheme going on afterwards. Trust me, you guys are not going to be disappointed with a crazy colour scheme. You're going to be like, what the hell are you doing, John? But I have a crazy idea, and I have to go with it. So I'm going to carry on and do all the panel work on this guy. Because there's a lot of cutting in to do and all that stuff. Okay, I'm going to pick all that stuff out on all three of them, and I'll come back to you then. Now I've got some retributor armor on the wet palette, so I'm going to start the painstaking task now of dropping the model, of going through and just gold trimming everything. Again, I'm only going to show you a little bit on camera, do the rest of it off camera. First thin coat, I go over and give a second coat, not the whole thing, just bits and pieces where it looks a bit. I might actually change brush, it's a smaller brush actually. I think that's the best way going. Come back to you in a minute, guys. So here we are. They're almost battle ready. Okay. Now it does look a little bit blocky on this bit here, but there's only one thin coat so far of gold trim. I don't need to do the second coat on camera, but the gold trim is actually a little bit easier than I first anticipated. But I'm not doing the second coat yet until there's a few other colours to do, and then give it a second coat and then wash it down, but that's for later on. So for the minute I'm going to leave it to dry, all three of them, and then I'm going to come in with some beaten copper, and I'm going to target things like the two little rods there, the collar, the horn on the head, the ring on his nose, just all those types of things. There's nothing, yeah, the chain that's the ring that he's holding on all of them. Okay, I'm going to target all of that on all of them, and I'll come back to you after I've done a bit in copper, because then it'll be almost done. Right, so I'm going to come in, just add some beaten copper. The aim is just to break up that silver as much as I can, even though I have an amazing plan of what's going to happen next. Still want to just break up a bit. Right, sorry, I had to stop filming there because I heard someone coming towards the workshop, and I knew they wouldn't be respectful. They would just come in and start flapping away. So there we have done the brass on this guy, the hinges on the back of him. There's little sockets there, the socket on the face, the teeth, the collar, the brass ring. Now what I'm going to do, I have to do the rest of it on the other ones, and then I'm going to come through with the screaming skull. Okay, and I'm going to do all the horns on the bloodletter, the bit on his back, his mane on his back I'm going to do as well, so I've got an idea for that. So I'm going to crack on with that, and I'll come back to you when I've done that. Right, so here we have you guys. These guys are now battle ready. Okay, but we're going to take it to the next step. Give a quick flick around of all of them. We are going to take it to the next stage, as I always do. You guys love it when I take it past the next stage. The only thing I haven't done on them is the eyes, but we'll take care of that in the next stage. The first thing I'm going to need, I'm going to go with some Genestealer purple. And some of you are going to go, what? Look, we've all seen bloodletters painted a certain way. We've seen blood crushers painted a certain way. Whether it be gold and silver, gold and black, red and gold, you know, red and silver, whatever it is. We've all seen that. So now I'm gonna experiment with something different. And I'll tell you why. This is unique wargaming terrain. I don't want my bloodletters to look the same as everyone else's. I want them to be unique and different. And by me doing this little experiment with this, I know what I'm doing, but it is an experiment at the same time saying it. If I can inspire you guys to push the boundary of painting like that, then happy days, that's great, that's what I'm here for. But also, one of you guys, I can't remember who it is now off the top of my head, but they commented on the painting of the Necron Immortals. So it was something along the lines of, I've seen Necrons this colour and that colour, and you know they're all the same. But painting these ones with the red helmet, the red heads, and you know, absolutely great, fantastic, refreshing to see. So with that in mind, that person, you know who you are. I can't remember who it is at the top of my head. One or two people I think it could be, and if I say the wrong person, so I'm not going to say. But because of that comment, and because I want these to be unique, that's why we're going with the Genestealer purple. Now some people are going to say, where's that going to go? I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm going to go on the wet palette, and then I'll come back and show you. Right, so before I go with Genestealer purple, I've decided to go with Skeleton Horde to do all the horns. I'll just show you one model because they want me doing all of them on camera. So I'm going to come in with the horns. His feet. I'm going to do the other two off camera. Right, so now I'm going to go with some Troll Slayer orange, and I'm going to paint these bits on his back. Now see that effect straight away? That's because of the Screaming Skull underneath. Very easy effect. Just start it up here and just work your way down, but you don't go all the way down to the base. we'll do that on the rest of them. After that, I'm going to go with this Uriel Yellow. And what I'm going to do, I've got some on the wet palette already. I'm going to come in and I'm going to do the same thing again, but I'm not going to go all the way down. I'm just going to try and touch the top pieces. And both of the, I mean, that looks amazing. Both of the orange and the yellow are both layer paints. So they go on bright and then dull themselves down. It's absolutely fantastic. Very, very simple, easy technique. Very, very simple. Now I've got Gently the Purple on the wet palette and I've watered it right down, and the idea is sort of just wash it in. Again, it's a layer paint, so it will go on bright and dull itself down. I'm just going for all the panels just to bring that colour up. Some people are probably screaming at the video now, no, what have we done? As I said, I want mine to be different. I want them to be noticeable in the battlefield, and I want them to be different. Don't panic. I'm going to do the rest of that one off camera and then come back to you in the next stage. Right, so you're dying to see this, I bet you. Because it's a very thin coat of Gen Steeler purple over the silver, it gives it a silvery metallic look. But what we're going to do now is, because we've got all these metal parts in here, we are going to get some nun oil. I'm going to wash the whole juggernaut with nun oil. Okay, so we're, oh, I don't know, this should dull it all down, including the bronze, all these metallic pieces, gold. Let's pick out all those little ridges on his back as well. Right, so whilst that nano's drying, I've got some Chocolate Orange on my brush from the wet palette, and I've watered it right down. So what I'm going to do is go across, moving on camera, sorry. I'm going to go across the sword, try and just as lightly as I can, so I get a faint, something like that. Yeah. So we get a little bit more. I brought it right down, so it's almost a wash. Try not to touch the. Oh, I did Talazar blue as well on the tongues. Just you guys know. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some more of that Uriel yellow, water that right down, and I'm going to come in and sort of wet blend it a little bit. I don't want too much. Something like that, yeah? Then I'm going to come in with some white scars and water that down as well. Now what I'm going to do with the white scars is the gaps between, I'm going to slowly join them up and sort of just mix the two bits of wet paint. Okay, same again this side. It looks a bit mad at the moment, but when that dries, it's a layer paint, it will dry right down. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a little bit of tissue, and I'm going to get some white scars, and I'm going to dry brush this on the end here. I'm going to sort of just give it a little touch up on the horns. Nothing too fancy, just a little touch. I'm going to do that on the other guys. So this guy's got some skulls there, so I'm going to do the same thing on the skulls. Right, I did a little dab of white in their eyes as well. Now I've got some what's like a red on my dry brush, and I'm going to dry brush their bodies, just to really bring out those spots and the muscles. It's a very difficult thing to dry brush because it is. Some of you are going to notice that I never painted their eyes. For me, there's no point painting the eyes on these guys. If you want to paint the eyes, you go for it, but for me, there's no point. See the difference? This one I just dry brushed. So I'm talking with the brush in my mouth. Give this one a quick dry brush, and then I'll get the last colour ready. Now I've gone back to Uriel Yellow, and I've gone to a smaller brush, and I'm just going to give it a drier brush over the rider. Give it such an amazing effect. And it ties his shoulders, his little mane thing on the back end as well. Now don't panic, because Uriel Yellow is a layer paint, so it will go on bright and dull itself down. Right, and that's this unit done. So guys, a massive thank you to everyone that voted. It was a close vote, like I said. Last vote came in, and it was for the Blood Crushers that just pushed them in the lead. So don't panic if yours didn't get, what you voted for didn't get painted, or what you didn't vote for but you were rooting to get painted didn't get painted. Don't panic. Everything has to get painted. And if you didn't vote, then just chuck a comment there and vote, because it's, you know, costs you nothing, throws your voice forward. So I'm going to bring down, show some pretty pictures in a second. Thank you for watching, guys. If you haven't done so already, like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and I'll see you next time. I'll show you some pretty pictures now, but I'll see you next time, guys. Take it easy.